Hello, this is our project on UFO data. What we'll be analyzing here today is year, physical effects. Was each abduction covered by the media? Did the individual itself make contact with its abductee? And was there an abduction at all? The data is organized into 5 columns. Those columns being the previous data that was mentioned before, along with 203 rows of that data. The data is organized into ones and zeros, 1 being yes, 0 being no. Now I'm going to show the code itself. The code here is broken up into 3 parts. Operation 1, 2, and 3, along with each operation being tied to another function. First function, operation 1, also our data will be noted as being A. So the first thing that is very important, our data will be organized by each year. First year being the minimum of data A, all going through the whole rows in the first column. It is convenient though that the data can be shown like this because the data is organized, but for the sake of future databases that don't have that. The last year, again, will have the same thing, but max. Right? And to show each year, it will be from the first year to the last year with intervals of 1 year in between. So it'll show every year. For this data, what is being shown is abductions per year. In order to show that, there must be 2 things in the data to start counting. 1, the correct year, and 2, if the final row says 1. Out of the 5 rows, the final row is what shows whether or not there was an abduction or not. Next, the sum of it, which for each year, individual year, we represented by this. And then the plot from first year to last year, that being the x-axis, and the y-axis, the amount of abductions a year. And we will show the graphs itself later. Operation 2 is similar to Operation 1, but it will show the sightings per year. So essentially, it will show the total amount of years, and it will count each year. And so if there is 1999 twice, there's 2 sightings per year, or 2 sightings in 1999. So it's essentially the same data. First we did first year, last year, stay consistent. And then we needed a for loop as well, so we can show the first year and last year with intervals of 1 year again. And this time, the input data will just be looking for the year. We'll only be looking at the first column, and we'll sum that up. Next, there will be a plot, first year to last year. Again, that will be our x-axis, with the number of sightings per year being our y-axis. Operation 3. Again, we had to identify the first year and last year. What we did here was we wanted to show a ratio or percentage between the amount of sightings and what percentage were abducted. And that is shown as the ratio. The data itself will again show intervals from first to last year, as well as the data matching up with the year. So then start a count. That could be represented in ones and zeros, of course. And then the sum, it will sum up each year. That will also create we'll create an array for each year, and that will have 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., depending on how many sightings there are. For the second loop, we need to analyze, again, the abductions. So we had an interval from first year to last year as well. And if the year and the column, the fifth column, represented 1, which means there was an abduction, then there was a count and it was put into an array. That array will show a total amount of abductions per year. And then we divide the two pieces of data and plot them. Here is how the UFO database looks when plugged in. Anyone who actually likes X-Files will understand this reference. So plot abductions per year, click on that, and that will show the data. As you can see, not a lot of abductions, almost 1, actually 0 the whole time. The first abduction was about 1955, and here the aliens were busy. Going on to the plot sightings per year. Data was first recorded this year. As you can see, there was nothing until about 1950, a huge spike, and it fluctuates, but clearly you can see a lot more sightings during this time. And then finally, the ratio. And when there are zeros, divide by 0, which makes sense because if there was no sightings and no abductions, it would not exist. The data itself will say, well, not available, but it will also be represented as 0 on the graph, which will be very helpful visually. Again, and then I'll show the data real quick. The data has no headings, but again, the columns, the data, or the PowerPoint shows what each column means. And there is 203 of these. And that is our presentation. Thank you.